All right. Well, welcome everybody. Thank you all so much for joining us today. For those of you who I haven't had the chance to meet before, my name's Jack. I use he, him pronouns. I'm one of the CP Solvers team members and also the president of the Clinical Problem Solvers. And I wish I could say that it was solely a delight to see everyone here today. There is certainly a lot of joy and happiness and delight in getting to see this group coming together and gathering. And there's also a lot of sadness here, given the circumstances of why we're all coming together, which is to both mourn and grieve the loss of someone who we all came to know in different ways, but I think can universally say came to care about and love and feel deeply touched by. And that person is Rafa. It feels particularly fitting that we're here today in this format to mourn, grieve, and also celebrate Rafa, because this space, the Zoom room of the Clinical Problem Solvers, is the context through which many of us got to know and love Rafa and to see him shine. It was almost 3 years ago. Coming up this summer, it'll have been 3 years since the CP Solvers Virtual Morning Report was first graced by his intellect, his brightness, and just his passion for teaching and for clinical medicine. And this is the space where so many of us got to know the various contours of Rafa. And my hope is that as the course of this next however long we are gathered here today unfolds, that we'll get to know him in even more new ways. So many of us knew him as an incredible clinician, an absolutely brilliant educator, and somebody who was an enormous champion and supporter, particularly of the IMG community. Rafa had a unique ability to elevate everyone that he touched along the way as he just soared and shot through the stars of both the clinical reasoning community, the medical education community, and so many other spaces that were lucky enough to be touched by him along the way. And at the same time, he was also so much more than that. He was a brother, as you can see here. He was a beloved son and an incredible friend to so many of us and so many other people who we are going to get to hear from today. And I think there are so many different contours and textures of the person that he was, and my hope is for everybody here to at least walk away from this session with a new appreciation and a new understanding of just what an incredible human being he was, and just how bright he did indeed shine. Rafa spent a lot of shared with us many times a quote that he would share over and over again, whether it was talking about challenges or upcoming successes. And that quote was, "One life, so many dreams." I think that there are multiple meanings to that quote, particularly at this time, given that we lost Rafa so early in his life, which is just the sheer number of dreams he was able to accomplish for himself over the course of his short life, but also the number of dreams he was able to help other people realize over the course of his too short life as well. I think thinking about, his recent match to the University of Colorado for internal medicine, but also all of the people along the way who he helped to do the same. One of his dreams, which you all can see here, and for those of you who are listening to this via audio, there's a banner that's up here in the Zoom room, which highlights one of Rafa's core driving dreams, which was supporting his parents through his medical career. Unfortunately, that is one dream that has not yet been realized, but one that we invite you to join us in helping with. In the Zoom chat here, there's a GoFundMe link that we will post, that without expectation, without pressure, we invite you to donate to, as we all work to not only honor Rafa's dreams, but continue to support them even after his passing. At the risk of going on too long here, I just will say that there is something that is particularly special about these various communities coming together. The clinical problem solvers community, Rafa's family, Rafa's friends, and the ways in which so many people expanded across multiple communities of those. Of course, Rafa was somebody who made friends wherever he went, whether it was through virtual spaces like tutoring for the USMLE, spearheading several initiatives here within the clinical problem solvers, whether it's subspecialty VMR or supporting IMGs throughout the match. And as we all gather here today, with the chance to hopefully come to know him in ways that we haven't yet before, and I hope that we can all internalize some new piece of him today, because the more that we can weave these pieces of Rafa into ourselves as time goes on, the better we can honor his legacy and honor all of the dreams that he had, and so many more that he hadn't yet even had time to think of. And so with that, I just want to say thank you all so much again for joining us today. And I will now turn it over to Robbie.
Hi, everyone. My name is Robbie, and I'm one of the CP Solvers team members. And I just want to start off by thanking you, Jack, for anchoring us through this in ways that are public and private and subtle and obvious and everything in between. I tried to put something together to say to you all, but I can't do it. I can't read anything. This is a nightmare. And being here is a nightmare. And I'm really hopeful that somebody will just say this is a lie, it's not true, that this is all just, it's all just one horrible dream. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. In fact, I bet everyone is thinking that. And that thought is probably not going to go away for a long, long, long time. I keep reminding myself why we're all here now. This is not going to heal. A lot of us are going to go back to, after this is all done, I'm going to go back to the processing that this will take. And so really all that I can tell you is to paint a very clear picture of why I think we're all here right now. He's still alive in every single person in this virtual Zoom room. And most importantly, he's still alive in his family members. And some of whom are here with us today. And his two wonderful parents, who I will attempt to welcome in Portuguese. Bem-vindo aos pais do Rafael. We hope you two in particular get to see the impact and the love that your 1 in 100 billion son did for this world he changed my life, turned it upside down in the best of ways. And I know he did the same for many of you. And that's why we're here. We're here to honor and celebrate the person that continues to exist in every single person in this space. And I'm so very grateful to having bumped into somebody you will meet momentarily, Rafael's beloved older brother, Gabriel, who, without realizing, reminded me of the whole point of being here. He reminded me of that in a way that he'll share with you soon, but in a way that he asked me to share with you. We're here to honor and celebrate Rafael. Gabriel told me that it was kind of tough a little bit to grow up around an otherwise flawless human being. But we both laughed at one thing that Rafa wasn't very good at. And so we'll spend the rest of our time together reflecting on all the things he was magical at. But we felt it very Rafa to start off somewhere that might make him laugh, that might make you laugh, and a skill that I think he might need a little practice developing. So to emphasize why we're here to celebrate, to honor this wonderful human being. And with Gabriela and with Gabriel's permission, and actually his secret access, I will show you something to set the mood for where we're going to begin. Our beloved Rafa and his laugh and his singing. Thank you, Gabriel. He is so limitlessly beautiful. I'll just share that we're going to spend some time, all of us sharing wonderful things and memories, but we have some people who we'd like to hand the mic first. And of course, we'd love to begin with you, Gabriel.
Hello, everyone. My name is Gabriel. I'm Rafa's brother. And I just want to start with this video to show the beautiful energy and amazing. Wherever Rafael went, he just left the room shining, and everyone admired him for his strength, for his dreams. But I've wrote something to speak about Rafael because I'm extremely nervous, and I think it'd be better have something in writing. So my brother has a beautiful energy. He was humble and inspired so many of us. When I found out the death of my brother, it was just like a bad dream, and I just could stop screaming and crying. Then I became angry because I knew my brother would give so many good things to this world, and it just felt unfair. I tried to make sense of the things. Why someone so bright, so loving, and with so much potential could just be gone. In the funeral, I was devastated and looking for answers. And someone approached me and said to me, "You're so lucky to have had a brother like Rafael. You should be feeling honored." And then I realized the impact of Rafa in my life. He inspired me with his big dreams. And he never looked for the barriers or difficulties. Rafa was not just inspired for his big dreams, that my family could never understood how he could get there, because it was so big, but he was committed. He believed that no matter how big is your dreams, but you can get there if you commit to it. And that was Rafa's mission on this world, show to us that everything is possible. The last few days, I have realized that Rafa had already inspired hundreds of people, and he already had left a beautiful legacy. So I didn't need to be angry. And today we're here together to celebrate his journey. I'm here to I'm his brother, blood brother, but he didn't have only one brother. He had all of you. He showed this world it's worth it to be kind to another. It's worth it to fight for what you want and find your truth. He died happy, fulfilled, and with the feeling of accomplishment. I believe Rafa is present with us and he's proud of his friend right now, which showed so much kindness to us family and cried and grieved with us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gabriel. Thank you very much. We're also very lucky to have a very old friend of Rafa here, Maicon, who also has some words to share. Go ahead, Michael.
Hello, everyone. I hope you guys can hear me well. Is it okay?
Yes.
So I feel really honored to be able to speak a few words about Rafa here today. Rafa was like one of the most incredible people that I met in my entire life. And I remember that as soon as we passed the exams to start med school, he was like one of the first ones to reach out to me, maybe the same day or on the next day. And we had some sort of connection because we were a little older in a group of very young people at the time. And he promptly suggested that we would gather somewhere to get to know each other, right? And that reunion took place a few days later in my home. And Rafa didn't drink any alcohol, so that day he took like one big jar of passion fruit juice and he drank it all alone. And we already knew that we were before someone peculiar. And as time went on, we started to find out that he was peculiar in many beautiful ways. Even before the course started, he used to, invite me to go to the hospital to see some night shifts. And because he knew the interns of the time, it was 2015. And we ended up bonding really strongly. And he went home to study many times. We had many lunches at home, and he was not friends with me. He was friends with my brother. He was friends with my parents. And Rafa was like a son to my parents as well. If you see Rafa's Instagram, you'll notice that there is a comment of my mom in basically every picture of Rafa. And we even traveled together with friends 2 times. And he was basically my partner in every activity in med school through 6 years. But overall, what impressed most is how he could handle everything. Because for me, it was hard just to keep up with the medical school, And he was able to study at medical school, to study for the steps, being a volleyball athlete, and work with teaching privately, to gather money to pay for everything. And I'm not even counting for the free classes that he would give to us, because whenever we had questions, we reached out to him and he was able to help us with a smile on his face. And it was amazing. And I do remember that he would tell me how much he would charge for these private classes that he would give. And I was always making fun of him, saying that he needed to charge more, because I knew that he was coming from a humble family and he didn't have much, and he would have to, you know, work to pay for every single cent. And I know that he really worked a lot to be able to pay for everything. So it's just a few words to say about someone who I can't put in words. And Rafa was one of the best friends that I had in my entire life, and one of the best people that I ever met. And I was taking a look in our last conversations on WhatsApp before his passing. And one of the last audios that he sent me, he was saying that I helped him so much and he was very grateful for everything that I've done to him. But honestly, this gratefulness all comes from me, you know, and I really hope that he felt as loved and respect and, you know, admired from all of us as much as he was. And I know that this is a very hard time and we don't have words enough, but if there is someone that I wanted to be happy in life, this person was Rafa. So as you guys told us, he's still alive in our hearts. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. And that was absolutely beautiful and really just a heartfelt gratitude for your bravery and your love to come here and share these stories and to share them in a language that is not your mother tongue amongst all the other barriers you're facing. We really, really appreciate you. And I just wanted to create some space and time to acknowledge the latter, which is that we've been talking in English, and Rafa's love is a global language. I learned yesterday from our beloved Shema that a doctor in Turkey was honoring him, and doctors in India were honoring him, and literally from all over the world. But his mother tongue is Portuguese, and so I'd love to create some time for folks to be able to speak more comfortably in their native languages. I see some people have raised their hands. I'll come to you in a moment, but please feel free if you have some stories to share in Portuguese for now. Everyone will be able to speak, but let's give some space for Portuguese now. So if you would like to speak, please either raise your hand, as some of you just did, or put in your thoughts in the chat. I'll try my best and make sure I don't miss anybody. And if I do, just let me know. Okay. I'll start off with Guilherme. I think I see your hand raised first. Please go ahead.
Can everybody hear me? Yes? Okay. Well, sorry about my English. I don't practice this for a long time, but I'll do my best.
Guilherme,
Well,
I don't mean to
I'd like
interrupt you.
to.
Please feel free to speak in Portuguese or any language you like. You don't need to be on
Okay.
any language you like.
Ok. Well, eu gostaria de enfatizar, reforçar todas as palavras do Michael sobre o Rafa. Ele sempre foi uma pessoa muito importante nas nossas vidas. Sempre foi uma pessoa muito inspiradora pra gente. A trajetória dele sempre foi algo muito admirável. E a força que ele tinha, a garra que ele tinha para chegar onde ele chegou, sempre assim, eu sempre tive muito orgulho de dizer que era meu amigo e tinha muito orgulho dele, sempre tive muito orgulho dele. O Rafael sempre foi uma pessoa única. Quem conviveu com ele de perto sabe o quão bondoso, dedicado e amigo ele sempre foi. Sempre dando o seu melhor para ajudar quem quer que fosse, com alguma dificuldade, alguma matéria. Quem de nós aqui do curso nunca foi ensinado pelo Rafael? Todos nós tiramos alguma dúvida com ele, ou mesmo as várias aulas que ele já deu para a gente, extremamente didáticas, sempre preocupado em ensinar e mostrar para a gente conhecimento. Não só na medicina, o Rafael era um amigo muito importante para todos nós. como minha experiência, né? Eu sempre fui próximo dele desde o início da faculdade, ele me ajudou muito em momentos muito difíceis da minha vida, me dando suporte emocional e me ensinando muito sobre a vida. Eu sou muito grato pelo Rafa e por tudo que eu aprendi com ele. Rafael era uma pessoa admirável, ele sempre lutou com unhas e dentes para conseguir conquistar o sonho dele. É muito triste ter que lidar com uma notícia dessa, é uma tragédia. Ele com certeza seria muito feliz na carreira dele aí nos Estados Unidos. Não posso dizer que ele não venceu. Ele venceu sim. Ele lutou com todas as forças e toda a dedicação para entrar num curso de medicina extremamente concorrido. Largou o curso de biologia e se dedicou para entrar na medicina. Já é uma vitória imensa. E não bastando isso, ele lutou com todo o esforço para passar nas provas de residência nos Estados Unidos e foi aprovado. Então, sim, ele foi vitorioso. Em cada passo que ele deu, ele foi vitorioso. E quem conviveu com ele sabe o quão feliz ele foi nesse caminho todo. A vida dele, sim, valeu a pena. E garanto que todos nós aqui somos muito gratos por ter convivido com uma pessoa tão especial e admirável como o Rafael. He will be always in our hearts and in the best memories. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Guilherme. Milena?
Hi, can you all hear me? Eu vou falar em português, até porque a pessoa com quem eu passava vergonha falando em português, em inglês, casualmente era o Rafa, e ele podia falar para vocês que ele saía muito melhor do que eu com isso. Eu tive o privilégio de ser amiga do Rafa por 15 anos. Metade da nossa vida teve a presença um do outro. A gente se conheceu no ensino médio. A gente dividia armário, e ele era um ótimo parceiro de armário, porque ele nunca deixava os livros dele lá. Ele tinha um livro de biologia gigantesco, de matemática, ele sempre levava com ele, então eu tinha um armário só para mim. Esse vídeo que vocês mostraram no começo foi lá em casa. A gente fez um karaokê improvisado lá em casa, e sim, como todos sabem, o Rafa amava cantar, e era uma coisa que não era muito boa. Mas ele amava cantar, e era muito bonitinho ele cantando em inglês, porque ele cantava pronunciando cada palavra exatamente. Então, desculpa, Rafa, desculpa, Maju, porque eu sei que a gente morria de vergonha desse vídeo. A gente sempre escondia ele em pastas e pastas e pastas no computador, e agora tá aqui, várias pessoas vendo. Mas é para ser um pouquinho do que ele era. O Rafa me fazia sentir confortável, acolhida, inspirada. Eu podia ser 100% quem eu era do lado do Rafa. E eu espero que isso tenha sido recíproco. A gente estava junto na adolescência, a gente estava junto em vários momentos. A gente entrou para a vida adulta, o nosso grupinho de amigos do ensino médio. Porque ele sempre falava do ensino médio para a vida, e a gente brincava sempre com que era sempre a legenda padrão dele. A legenda padrão dele de Instagram era do ensino médio para a vida, do faculdade para a vida, e realmente foi. A gente virou adultos juntos, a gente conversava sobre vários assuntos. A gente trocava confidências, a gente trocava num nível de intimidade que era engraçado. Desde 2009, que a gente estava saindo do ensino médio, a gente falava, o nosso grupo, em fazer uma viagem juntos, que um dia a gente iria para a praia juntos. E lembrando agora, eu tenho que achar ainda, eu tenho uma carta que a gente fez no último dia do ensino médio, eu, a Maria Júlia, o Rafa, outros amigos nossos, em que a gente colocava ali um pouco do que a gente queria para o futuro. E eu lembro que ele tinha alguma coisa sobre ir para São Francisco. Errou um pouquinho, mas ele chegou a ir para São Francisco, então eu fico muito feliz por isso. Mas, enfim, a gente falava em fazer essa viagem juntos, e não que isso amenize a dor, mas eu posso dizer que ele estava muito feliz. Ele vinha de despedidas do Brasil, ele vinha de um momento em que ele estava se sentindo realizado, em que ele estava tendo tantas conquistas que eram tão importantes para ele, Que privilégio que foi poder acompanhar todas as conquistas que ele teve. E ele estava cercado de amor nessa viagem, e ele já vinha, né, recebendo muito amor. Eu acho muito bonito ver todos os amigos falando do quanto tiveram a oportunidade de falar com ele, sobre o quanto estavam orgulhosos, o quanto amavam ele, o quanto desejavam felicidade para ele. E na praia, nesse momento, a gente tinha comprado uma lembrancinha no Instagram dele, ele postou a foto com nossos amigos e um Funko da Sakura, e era engraçado porque ele falava que a Sakura do Naruto era uma das inspirações dele, porque ela era uma ninja sem poderes, e aí ela se esforçou mais do que todo mundo, e ela chegou num nível tão acima até do que os outros, e ela era uma ninja médica, então a gente quis dar uma lembrança, assim, algo para ele levar da gente. E a gente teve um momento bonito ali de poder falar o quanto a gente amava ele, o quanto a gente estava orgulhoso dele, o quanto a gente estava feliz por ser uma viagem, uma amizade de uma vida inteira. Ele estava muito feliz no mar, ele estava muito feliz na praia, ele era o primeiro a ficar pronto para ir tomar sol, ele estava com o objetivo de sair do Brasil sem a marca de tomar sol no braço, então ele queria sair bronzeado do Brasil, e ele estava mas agora isso tem um outro significado, mas ele cantava muito a música da Moana, See the line where the sky meets the sea, it calls me, e como vocês puderam ver, meu inglês, mas enfim, ele cantava essa música, que agora, enfim, tem um significado meio doloroso de pensar, mas ele estava feliz. Ele estava num momento muito feliz da vida dele. E eu sei que essa dor vai me acompanhar bastante. Um sentimento de culpa, ainda que eu saiba racionalmente de que ninguém foi culpado, que foi realmente uma tragédia, um acidente. Tem um sentimento de culpa. Eu acompanhei ele partindo, a gente estava lá, os amigos que estavam com ele, a gente estava com ele até o final, mas além da dor também vai acompanhar o quanto ele era maravilhoso, o quanto ele tinha uma risada alta e maravilhosa, o quanto ele era desafinado, o quanto ele tinha as esquisitices, as rafaelices dele, mas o quanto eram incríveis. Eu estava lembrando que foram 15 anos de amizade e ele nunca lembrava do nome dos meus irmãos, mas ele lembrava exatamente a data das provas que eu fazia, para perguntar como eu fui. E obrigada a todos vocês por terem feito esse momento. Fica isso, como é bom celebrar o Rafa na sua totalidade, como é bom celebrar tudo que ele foi, tudo que ele representa, tudo que ele representou. E é isso, obrigada.
Thank you so much, Melina, and thank you to the chat for the translation. Thank you. Daniela.
Hey. I'll just start in English just to give a context. I'm Danny. Some of you might know me. I've been around CP Solvers for a little bit, disappear for a little bit, and then come back. And I knew Rafa through CP Solvers, through Leticia's course, and also Twitter and everywhere because he was everywhere. Agora em português, porque eu normalmente conversava com o Rafa em português, né? Então, nossa, é muito difícil falar. Para todo mundo, né, que não entendeu o que eu falei, eu engolindo as sílabas todas em inglês, chorando. Eu conheci o Rafa meio que ao mesmo tempo, em diferentes esferas. Então, eu conheci ele pelo curso da Letícia, que vai falar depois. Eu conheci ele aqui pelo CP Solvers e pelo Twitter, e ele estava meio que em todos os lugares quando uma pessoa pensa minimamente em fazer residência nos Estados Unidos. Eu acho que o algoritmo via e falava assim, agora eu vou apresentar o Rafa para essa pessoa, porque ele é a pessoa perfeita para isso. E eu talvez não tivesse um contato tão próximo quanto eu gostaria com o Rafa, mas ele sempre... E agora falando assim, eu acho que por todos os estudantes que já pensaram em algum momento de fazer residência nos Estados Unidos, ele sempre foi uma referência nessa parte. E não somente por tudo que ele consegue, mas também pela generosidade dele, pela compaixão que ele tinha com todo mundo, até com estranhos. Essa semana foi uma semana difícil, porque eu acho que mais da metade talvez tenha essa experiência de já ter ido falar com o Rafa sobre qualquer problema que acontece. Então, ele falava muito abertamente das experiências dele, e isso gerava também uma identificação. E aí, assim, de exemplos mais específicos, porque é o Rafa, claro que tem um exemplo mais específico. Quando eu entrei no CP Solvers, eu falei para ele imediatamente, obviamente. Acho que é a primeira pessoa que eu mandei mensagem. E eu falei, olha, eu consegui isso daqui. E logo em seguida, eu, a Laura e outras pessoas que falam português dentro do CP Solvers, decidimos fazer um projeto para traduzir os resumos, os esquemas para o português. Porque é o óbvio, né? A gente tem que fazer isso. E eu falei para o Rafa que a gente tinha esse projeto, meio que buscando a aprovação dele. E aí ele falou, nossa, fantástico que vocês vão fazer isso, porque tem uma coisa que eu não faria nunca. E que o Rafa super queria que eu fizesse, mas eu não ia tocar esse projeto para frente, que eu não tenho tempo. Eu tenho que resolver coisa da residência dos Estados Unidos. Que fantástico, eu apoio super, sigam em frente. E aí era legal de ver esse lado de eu vou apoiar vocês, porque eu sei que eu não consigo, mas eu tenho como apoiar vocês. E eu acho que isso era algo muito frequente no Rafa. Eu cheguei a mandar mensagem quando eu decidi que ia ter que adiar minha formatura para conseguir fazer tudo o que eu quero fazer. E ele estava passando meio que pelo mesmo processo quando eu decidi fazer isso. E eu decidi por conta dele. Porque eu olhei para ele e eu pensei, ué, como é que o Rafa não vai conseguir o que ele quer? Ele é o Rafa. Claro que ele vai conseguir, consequentemente eu consigo, porque tudo é possível. E eu entrei em contato com ele, perguntei o que ele achava, ele falou, faz. Se é o que tu acha que tu tens que fazer, faz, e vai dar super certo. E ele sempre foi aberto em relação a isso. Eu acho que eu conheço o Rafa há 2 anos já. E durante esses 2 anos foi um processo de conhecer ele e conhecer como uma pessoa pode ser realmente muito gentil. Tanto que durante essa semana, eu tenho um temperamento às vezes um pouquinho forte, eu pensava, não, acho que eu vou ficar calminha pelo Rafa, porque eu acho que o Rafa ia querer que a bondade tipo, continuasse sendo propagada depois de ele ter ido embora. Então, eu acho que é isso. Eu acho que o Rafa deixou realmente como um legado de a gente fazer ações boas só por fazer uma ação boa mesmo. E eu acho que não tem uma forma melhor de honrar a memória dele se não for assim. Então, de mensagem que eu deixo como uma pessoa que conheceu o Rafa só virtualmente, que tá chorando a semana inteira, sejam bons uns com os outros. porque ele fazia isso e era algo tão natural. Eu acho que todo mundo olhava para ele e pensava, meu Deus, como é possível? Ele não se estressa com nada. E isso, claro, eu só via pelo computador, então estou completamente errada. Mas toda vez que ele tinha oportunidade, o mínimo de conhecimento de alguma coisa, ele não hesitava em compartilhar, pelo menos para a parte assim desse processo que é tão complicado, que ele se dedicou tanto para conseguir vencer e tinha conseguido. É isso, acho que eu me estendi demais, mas e aí eu queria deixar um abraço muito forte, assim, que eu talvez nunca consiga dar de fato, pro Gabriel, pros pais do Rafa e pros amigos do Rafa que tem uns aqui, né, que estavam durante toda a situação. E essas 86 pessoas, que antes eram 90 e tantos, podem ter certeza que também gostaria de fazer o mesmo, porque vocês eram importantes e, consequentemente, são importantes também pra gente.
Thank you so much, Daniela. Leticia?
Hello, thank you very much. My name is Leticia, and I'm an international medical graduate as well. I'm currently a resident here in New York, and I had the opportunity to meet Rafa really early on his USMLE dream and pathway there. And I feel so lucky because he taught me so much, and it's so nice to see all these people here celebrating his life and sharing everything we learned with him. I met him when he was starting to think about taking the steps, and as we know, he had way more barriers than we all did, and he overcame them all. Always with a smile on his face, and always really happy, and always willing to put everyone on the stage and make them feel good about themselves and share their happiness as well. And I watched him thrive in his USMLE career, and I watched him achieve way more than he believed it was possible. And he told me every single day how thankful he was for the CP Silvers community, for you, Ravi, and he would always talk about you guys in a really, really nice and thankful way. So I'm really happy to be here with all of you and to see the impact that he had on everybody's life. He had a huge impact on my life, and he used to call me his boss in a nice way. And honestly, like, if there is one person that taught me way more than I taught him, was Rafa. And I'm really thankful for this whole life with him. And I think this whole week, it was a really tough week trying to process everything. Everyone that is here that went through the USMLE steps and matched as an IMG knows how hard it is, how the process of studying for these steps, taking your rotations, getting letters, doing everything, and knowing that the odds most of the times are against you is so draining and so hard. And it hurts me a lot to know that he won't benefit from the other side of things, and from achieving everything, and from doing his residency and his training. But the fact that we are all here saying how much he had an impact on our lives and how much he changed the way that we are gonna act from now on makes me feel like there is a little bit of Rafa in every one of us. So really happy, and thanks for putting us all together here.
Beautiful words, Leticia. Thank you so much. Jose?
Hello, everyone. First of all, thank you so much to the CP Silvers for putting the whole community around Rafa together today and to honor his memory. And I think, as we all agree, it was such an honor to have this human being in our lives. And like Leticia, Isadora, and many of the IMG colleagues we have here today, we had the privilege to be around Rafa and follow his steps during his beautiful journey towards becoming a resident in the US. And I particularly met Rafa very, very early on in the process. We had some colleagues in common from his med school in Maringá. And from that time, Rafa and I started to text each other about the USMLE process and how to get things, organized in terms of documents and everything. Because as you can imagine, IMGs have a lot of documents to deal with the medical schools. And that's when we got to have this close contact with each other. Rafa then met more people, met Leticia, met Isadora, many other wonderful colleagues that follow him during this time. And I think what was something that I will always carry with me when I think about Rafa is his never ending energy to get things done and help people around him. Even though he, as we all know, he came from, he had several barriers to deal with during his journey. He never, things that would never let him down, and he was always uplifting to everyone around him. And one thing that I've seen a lot in Rafa is that sometimes everything someone needs is just an opportunity. And Rafa did everything he could with every opportunity he had in his hands. And it was so beautiful to see that he was being successful in every step by making the best of the opportunities, by working with us, working with CP Solvers, and even better than that, helping other people along the journey. And I think we should all remember that, because as he said, one life's so many dreams. And sometimes what someone needs is just one opportunity to make that dream happen. So I think one of the things I will always carry with me as a huge learning from Rafa is that if you know that you can support someone to achieve their dreams, do it. Do it. Because sometimes all they need is just an opportunity. So as an IMG, privileged to be training in a great program and working with Rafa, I'll be always in a position to help other people, my colleagues from abroad, my colleagues from the US and everywhere, and deeply inspired by what my experience with Rafa was. And I not only lost a friend, I lost a mentee, I lost someone that I really admired, and it's been a tough process. But I think what he wants us to do is to come together, honor his values, honor his memory, and do the best we can to people around us. So that's the message I'd like to leave here today. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much, Jose. Ravi?
Thank you, Robbie. Hello, everybody. My name is Ravi. I had the unique privilege of helping Rafa try to achieve his dream. And we connected back in 2020, October, when he was going to present a case on CPS. And he was quite afraid of presenting cases. And initially, he was nervous. And he asked me, he just reached out to me or messaged me, and he said, is my case good enough to be presented? I'm like, hey, why not? So I was able to help him edit the case. And there was a case, I don't know if, Robbie, you remember leptospirosis. So he presented some very unique cases, which educated a lot of us stuff that I've never seen before. But he then asked me one day, my dream is to come to the US. And I was like, well, I am in a position I could help you at least to get US clinical experience. So, but unfortunately, 2021, I kept pestering him, come, I will help you. We will make it happen. But, his story was of the underdog. And I think that's where we connected. My story was also of the underdog. And I was like, how can I help this individual? And through continued conversations, I got to know him, and I was like, I really want you to come. And CPS was the catalyst that helped him come. And as many of the IMGs here know, it can be very expensive affairs. So February of last year, he landed at IAD Dulles in DC, and he walks off, and I'm like, I have no idea who I'm about to meet. And he just comes and gives me a hug, and I'm like, okay, it's cold, but this guy has definitely warmed me up. So we're walking to the parking lot. I'm like, hey, this guy has no coat. What am I going to do? So I get him to the mall and get him a coat and sweatshirt and then everything he needs. And I just want to recognize one of my residents, Faisal. Faisal was kind enough to offer him a room across from the hospital where he was staying, and he stayed with him for 5 weeks. And definitely that was a great help. So everything came together just incredibly well for his rotation. And then he's like, Ravi, I need to shave. And I'm like, hey, I don't shave. I have no idea what you mean by that. So I was like, okay, let's go to the pharmacy. And we were able to pick up a razor. And also I'm like, there's something else that goes with that, right? So yeah, so he got some shaving foam. So he would call me all the time, and I became his big brother. I'm like, look, my probably role in his life was to be his safe space. He was incredibly nervous, but we helped him and guided him, and my whole hospital came to know about him and helped him. And everybody's been incredibly sad this week, and we've had get-togethers, and we've been talking about him, and definitely he left an impression here in Baltimore at our hospital. But as just this week, I've been just so numb, and I've been looking at spaces where he was, where I saw him. He did come back in March to do his step 3, and he was like, Ravi, can I come stay with you? I'm like, why not? Come stay, yeah. So again, I had the privilege to be able to become the big brother and to help him during his time here. And we got to laugh and share stories and reflect on life. And he stayed with my family, and he goes, Ravi, I want a family one day. I've been investing so much time in setting up my life, and I'm gonna match. And he was afraid. This was before the match. I'm like, Rafa, you're gonna match somewhere. If not, I will give you a space in our program. But the stars aligned, and he matched at an incredibly good program. And I was gonna ask Rafa if I can come out to Colorado and spend a week with him, but unfortunately that won't happen. So maybe sometime down the road, I will ask him, can I come at least be with you for a bit? And I hope I'm fortunate enough to be able to do that and connect with him. Regarding his energy, he definitely had too much energy, and sometimes he'll say, I want to do this, I want to do this, and I'll be like, Rafa, take care of yourself. So again, offer him advice, but it's just not fair. I've been trying to make sense of this, and I've been walking around my house and just remember, even my dog would go, first thing my dog would do in the morning was go lie on Rafa's bed, and then would look at me and be like, I'm going to stay with Rafa, and wouldn't even obey my orders. So it's like, it's been a lot of memories. And I think my role in this, my connection with him, was to help him at least partially achieve his dream. But he was so incredibly happy being able to do this. He was the underdog. He was not supposed to come. Yeah, he did get to connect through CPS, but just physically coming here, it's difficult. And he's never been outside the country, so to help him come, and he just accelerated in his comfort level. He then would run up to New York to see what he would call his boss. He'd be like, Ravi, I'm going to see my boss. Then he'd go down to DC, and then he connected. He made friends wherever he went. And a couple of students that were here at the same time last year, they actually opened up their apartments to him. So he would go down to DC and stay with them as well, stay for the weekend. So, and that was Ethan. And I'm very indebted to him to help him while he was here. So he would never have to be afraid. He'd always have somebody here in his corner to help him. But I think he has connected me with many other students that have underdog stories, and I think my role is to continue on helping people as much as I can. In my background, our role is defined as helping people. So not to come here, definitely to come here and enjoy life, but also to help others and connect with others and uplift others, because these deeds are what you take with you. And I honestly think he has taken so much positivity with him and good deeds that he's in a great place right now. Thank you.
Thank you for those beautiful words, Ravi. Louisa?
Hello, nice to meet you. I will try to speak a few words about him. I didn't have the privilege to know him in person, but I know him like for 2 years maybe. I got to him through CPS and also in the other way, because I met you both through him and also through Leticia. And I used to say he was a teacher in his course, in her course, and I could never watch the classes itself in Rio, but I used to go to work listening to his classes through the course. And I used to say that he was with me like every day, and it was so amazing to see how he had the power to teach some easy stuff and also difficult stuff. And I started to be like I don't know how to say it, impressed by him. And then I started to look for his story, and I saw an interview, like a mock interview for the residency with Ravi, and I listened a small part of his story telling about his parents. And there is one part of this mock interview that I saw. It was so amazing that somebody asked what color you would be, and I was saying like, wow, if somebody asked me what color I would be, I would never have able to answer that. And he answered blue. And then he explained why the blue. He said that the sky is blue, the sea is blue, and he loved that. And I was like, oh wow, yeah, blue is a very good color. And many other things that he said that pushed me. And I believe that he had the power to push many people that he didn't even know that he had this power. I had the privilege to say, like, every day, to every accomplishment he got, like, congratulations. I was really excited for him from the step 1, step 2, step 3. I was like, when he matched it, I was like, oh my God. And I know that Lara said that felt the same thing. We got more excited for his match than even for our. I didn't have the match anyway, but I know I will be more excited for him than even for myself. So I just wanted to say these few words. I don't know him for as long as you had the privilege to be in touch with him. I just know him like for 2 years, and I got really, really, really upset when I was getting to work and say, oh my God, I had to do like 106 questions today, and I am on call. And I saw the post in the Instagram. I was like, what? No, wait. Nobody, you cannot make the passing from the shift now. I have to stop and try to understand what is happening. And then I got this sad news, and I was like, oh my gosh, how could this happen? And why now? Like, he was just on the step to go there and to get everything. And then I tried to think why it happened. And after listening to all of you speaking, I am sure that if there is a mission for everyone here in Earth, and if God thought that he he did his mission. I am sure that he did it so well, to me especially, and I believe that most of you, because you are here too, and I just want to thank him and to all of his accomplishments and for everything that he taught me and he taught everybody. He was a wonderful person. I would love to meet him, but I am so happy. I'm so glad that I had this little time with him, and it's so amazing. And I hope to get the match, and I will honor him, because every time that I get home and say I cannot do it, I can do it, then I stop. And I used to go to his Instagram and I said, oh my gosh, Rafa did it. I have to continue. Go, go, go. And this was my last message to him. I was like, okay, you did the match. I can't believe you were so inspiring. And yeah, thank you for everything, and to give me the power and the energy I need to continue in this way. So I had the privilege to tell him that in life, and now I want to share this with you. Anytime you feel hopeless and not energy enough, think on him and try to honor his memory and his life, because as you said, he's living inside us, and I truly believe that he's here. And this is what I wanted to live in this meeting, and to thank him and to thank everybody to be here in his honor. It's really beautiful, and I am sure that he's really happy wherever he is. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Luisa. Wallace?
Hello, everybody. Thank you for the space. My name is Wallace. I have had a chance to meet some of you, but for the others that I haven't, I am a last year medical student from Porto Alegre, Brazil, and I am currently in Phoenix doing my clerkship. And then like I met Rafa like 2 or 3 years ago through the USMLE Brazil community on Facebook. And then I just want to highlight 2 things about Rafa. So the first thing would be that he helped me with in so many ways, like for tests, we would Zoom for before I came here, we would Zoom, and he would teach me how to deliver better case presentations, write better notes and stuff. And then he helped me with to get clerkships. And then once I asked him, I told him, like, Rafa, I cannot thank you enough. How can I, like, I'm speechless. And then he told me, like, so you can help other people. And so this was the first thing that Rafa, he was a human being that he helped many people because he was that way. He never expected anything in return. He just wanted us to spread the word. And then he was so special because of that. And the second thing that I would like to highlight is that it hit me particularly hard, because as many of you guys, I didn't have the chance to meet him in person. A couple of weeks ago, he told me that he would have his ACLS course in my college town. I'm not there, you know, but then I offered him, you can stay in my apartment, my neighbor, she has a copy of my key, and you can stay there. And then he loved the idea, and we would talk. We talked about that, and then he was just, you know, it would happen last week. So probably I don't know how many days ACLS course lasts, but probably he would be in my apartment right now, you know. And then it hit me hard because at the time I was so happy that I would finally have the chance to retribute a little bit of all of his kindness. But it didn't. and then I go to WhatsApp and I see our messages. Every time here in Phoenix, he would text me like, just Wallace, just checking on you how things are, and then please don't forget to tell. I have my neighborhood's old lady. Don't forget to text her that I'm gonna arrive in your apartment that time. I don't want to scare her and stuff. And then the day that I got the news from this tragedy was the day that I was supposed to call her and say that a friend of mine would stay in my apartment for a couple of days. So I think that is the same for many of you. I think many of us have opened doors to welcome Rafa, to celebrate him, to thank him for everything he has done. And this door is not gonna close. And as Robbie said, it's gonna take a long time to heal. So I just wanted to highlight this. And for I don't know, for the closer family and friends of Rafa, I don't know if he had mentioned, I wish I could have the opportunity to meet you guys in other circumstances, but so that's me. I was really happy to have him in my place, but unfortunately at this time this is not going to happen. Maybe in the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Wallace. Anna?
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for creating this space today. It's been really beautiful to hear from his family, from friends, both within the CP Solvers community, which I'm so grateful for, but also friends from different parts of his life. And one of the things that I was always so struck by from Rafa is what so many people have commented on in his ability and love to connect with people. I think something that made him so special was that he would, in connecting with people, just multiply things for everyone else. We've heard so much today about how he would always look for ways to help other people and make their lives better. And he would never expect anything in return. It was just his passion, and he was so generous. And I feel so grateful to have known someone who's that beautiful, and felt so proud of him when we got to see this amazing gift of his dream of becoming a US physician, which was the one thing that he worked so incredibly hard for, and overcame barriers and challenges that I think so many people here can't imagine. And it just makes me so incredibly sad that that dream was cut short. But the journey that he led to get to where he was such a beautiful one. And I think I reflect so much on the type of people who are so successful like Rafa, that you can choose the high road to get to those places and choose to help everyone along the way and give and give and give, or you can choose the low road and step on people to get there. And Rafa chose the highest of the highest roads, like a road that we sometimes don't even see. And he was just such an incredible person with a beautiful energy that we all got to experience online. And then meeting him in person, he has that warmth and that love that you feel immediately. When I met him for the first time in person about a year ago, it felt like I was it felt like I was seeing someone that I had known for 10 years, even though I had only had an online relationship with him for a few years. He just saw people's soul. And I hope, and I've been reminded today, that it really is what he would want for us to kind of channel the beauty in which he saw in others and work to multiply opportunities and happiness and love in people's lives. I think that that is a gift that we can give back to him. And thank you to his family for just creating such a beautiful person who touched all of our lives. And I think you all have no idea the effect that Rafa has had in our lives and just what he's put out into the world. So thank you for sharing us with him.
Thank you so much, Hannah. I woke up at 3:30 and my phone was on fire. It was still 3:30 in the morning, and the first thing I saw was a screenshot of an Instagram post. And I couldn't really, I was like, there's just no way this is true. You know, groggy, it's 3:30 in the morning. And you know, one message after another message after another message after another message. And this is definitely a dream. Like, I'm still dreaming. And he had texted me an hour or two before it happened and shared a picture of where he was and how beautiful it was. And we had just finished preparing for his coming here and staying with us in San Francisco for a little while before he moved to Denver, and talking about renting a car or leasing a car or buying a car. What are we going to do? He was shocked that there wasn't a Walmart in San Francisco. Shocked. He sent me a screenshot. Like, how is it possible that there isn't a Walmart in San Francisco? He had some business to do there. Like, why? What business do you have to do in Walmart? And you know, we all heal in different ways or try to heal in different ways. I've listened to every single audio message he sent me, and I watched many of his VMRs. And I love his audio messages because they all have the same theme. And I've shared this with some of you before. They're all like, I can hear it now. Rabbi.
Hi. I would like to share a little bit more.
Yes.
Yeah, Rafael was always very big for my family. What I mean with that, when he told my parents that he would leave his degree of biology and to study medicine, my parents thought he was crazy. He was crazy. How he could ever make that dream become possible? Because even if the universe was for free, the books was very expensive. It was 7 years of full dedication. And he told my parents, if you give me rice and beans every day and a roof in my head, it's all I need. And the rest live with me. That's all he needed. Rafael had one pair of jeans that he used almost his entire unit, is even with a hole in the middle. And I saw that jeans now, and he didn't have any kind of, he was so humble. He didn't need any, he would go like with his motorcycle, like to university and walk sometimes, waiting for my father to pick him up. And it was always that really struggle. Nothing was given to Rafa, especially in the beginning, on his hand. Everything he achieved, and that was his beautiful legacy. That's what he left for us. It doesn't matter who you are, where you are, you can get your dreams. You can realize your dreams. And where I work in a tribunal, and I have to deal with some doctors. And I always open my mouth like fool, say, oh, my brother's a doctor. He's going to America. And everyone, wow, how amazing is that? So my heart was full of proud, and I am proud of him. I am proud of him. And he is, my entire family is proud of him because he had few angels, because I believe when such a beautiful soul like Rafael attracted beautiful souls as well. And it's, each one of you had a part to play on his dream, because he had an amazing energy. He attracted amazing people who saw him for who he was, and was inspired to help him, you know. And Ravi, that was really touching. He didn't have even a jacket when he went to America, just to show how my brother doesn't think things through, like what the struggles of the things. He just knows he's gonna do it, and when get there, he'll find a way to figure it out. And we are like, Rafael, how we do that? You don't know anyone there. And he couldn't afford an apartment. He was committed to go to America to do this 1 month training. And and Ravi came, no, stay in my house. So, but he didn't thought that would happen when he made the decision. That was Rafael. First, he believed in something, and then he made happen. He made happen. And that's what Rafael left for us. So thank you very much. And all of you just reinforced that. Just show to me that this, okay? Thank you so much for everyone. And one note, Milena, please never blame yourself for what happened. Never. Anyone could have done anything. That was the destiny of Rafael. And you loved him for 15 years. 15 years you were beside him. When Rafael went to a private school in a scholarship for free, he was like out of his comfortable space, because he was in the middle of these rich kids, and my parent used to sell sweets on the street, and he could give, and the class would go the whole day, and then Rafael could not afford to eat there. And then these friends of his say, no, come have lunch in my house. Their parents would get Rafael from the school and bring to their house, give them Rafael's lunch, and then bring him back to school with their daughters. So just to show you, nothing would stop Rafael. Nothing. Was not money, was not opportunity. He would create the opportunity, because with such amazing energy, he would find angels, and these angels would facilitate and make his dreams happen. So I'll thank for all of you for each, even if it's a minuscule part of his journey. I thank all of you. Thank you. That's a picture of Rafael in the aquarium in March this year. He absolutely loved this aquarium. I don't know who took this picture, and I put in this beautiful, and I'll take with me. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Gabriel. Isadora?
Hi, everybody. I don't want to prolong myself. I think that the most special people for him have talked and shared such beautiful memories, but I really couldn't help myself when I heard these beautiful stories from Gabriel, and I just wanted to really relay a message of encouragement for everybody in this room, that I feel like our mission, like, it's very hard to believe. It's very hard to believe what happened to him. I am having a very hard time, as everybody else, processing and really believing it, as Rabi mentioned, believing that this happened, because it's simply unfair. It's not fair. Like, he needed to be here. He needed to spread his legacy. He needed to help his family and help so many other people. He would help so many other people. So I feel like our mission here, that we're left in this world without Rafa, our mission here is to help each other out. Like, if you see somebody that is struggling in any way, financially, or they have a big dream, and you have a little bit of even knowledge of how to get there that you can share, or that you can take this person, adopt this person, and help them move forward with their dreams. Just like all these people did with Rafa, by offering a couch in your apartment, by offering an opportunity, by offering to be a scribe in your podcast, like small things, they go a long way. And I feel like our mission here as people that were very touched by this incredible human being is to do what he would have done and to find other Rafas in the world. I know he's unique, but a lot of other people with this path of grit, resilience, and this drive that he had, and just help these people, push these people forward, mentor them, hug them, give them friendship, love, money, anything you have that you can offer. That's pretty much what I wanted to say. And thank you, Gabriel, for being here. And I know it's a very hard moment for you, unprecedented times, and you're here sharing with us, helping soothe our hearts a little bit. So we really appreciate you being here. Your brother and your family are very special and very dear to our hearts.
Thank you so much, Isadora. I just wanted to take a minute to make it public knowledge a lot of the things that I had access to privately for Rafa that I think a lot of people know, but I wanted to make it fundamentally clear. Within CP Solvers, Rafa joined as a presenter on a case. And within 1 year, he had absolutely revolutionized the CP Solvers. And let it be clear, the CP Solvers at that point when Rafa joined was post-pandemic CP Solvers. The institution was already globally established, very prominent, and basically a leader in medical education. And yet Rafa jumped into that space and somehow managed to elevate it. If you ever would ask me, as somebody who was slowly starting to mentor him or coach him, that we would ever in CP Solvers have a medical student from Brazil be the director of internal operations of CP Solvers, I would tell you, you are crazy. But what Rafa did was unprecedented and remains unprecedented. He started a whole subspecialty virtual morning report series, which you all probably may have heard of or know of. It did not exist. What did this mean? This means he brought experts, world experts, met them, connected with them, was brave and bold enough to reach out to them, email them, cold call them, and brought those people to the whole world for free. And just think about that for a second. Expertise to the whole world for free. How? An email from Rafa. That's how it started. It wasn't some sort of elaborate process. It was, here I am, please come to me. And I can't even tell you how he would blaze a trail in this direction, and this direction, and this direction, and this direction. Then his immediate thought was, who else is going to come on the walk with me? And all our conversations were always very similar. What's my next idea? How am I going to do it? And who am I going to bring along with me? And there's a whole generation of CP Solvers team members who can tell you that the only reason they know CP Solvers is because of Rafa. Unprecedented, unheard of. And that's why I think it's really important to say out loud and say publicly that Ravi and I and many others made a very deep promise to Rafa. And in fact, we tweeted about it in a reflection I'll share with you. And as Isadora just mentioned, we, inspired by Rafa, promised the whole IMG community that CP Solvers would be a bridge for their dreams. And we have two options now. I think that Rafa was ahead of that promise, and this could so easily crumble given his absence. but you're going to see the exact opposite. You're going to see that this, from the CP solvers, how will CP solvers remember Rafa? CP solvers will remember Rafa by investing our heart and souls and making sure that that dream and that promise that we made to him is extended, deepened, fortified, and will exist as long as CP solvers exist. And I'm honored to know that the very people that Rafa brought on, the very people, some of whom I see right now on my screen, the very people are the vehicle to make that happen. And as we transition to showing you a beautiful piece of memories that this very same team has created for Rafa, I will tell you that we have some other dreams to make alive for him in addition to that, and would really, really encourage you to spread widely the GoFundMe link that we'll put in the chat. Please, please, please do that. And on behalf of Reza and I, just also wanted to share that we will officially appoint Rafa as the permanent Director of Internal Operations at CP Solvers. And what does that mean practically? It means practically that the small but meaningful salary support that he got every month, we will proudly continue to give to him and the people that he loves. And so consider it official that we still honor him through our actions and honor him through this permanent position that he will have, and are proud to know that his work will continue, and we will continue to thank him emotionally and financially for it. So thank you all. Thank you all for being here. I want to just create a minute or two of space for you all to share any reflections that you have in the chat. And for this segment, I apologize to those watching on YouTube. We're going to have to stop the recording because the team has created something very special for Rafa. It includes one of his, but probably most recently his favorite artist, Taylor Swift. And because we know YouTube copyright infringements will mean that if we continue to record this segment, it'll be deleted. So I would really, if you're still there, Gabrielle, I know we didn't talk about this before. I see your video's off, so you might not be. I would really love to pass the mic to you for you to say the final words of this gathering today before we stop the recording and play another video.
Sorry, Rabbi, to me?
Yes, we're just
sorry.
gonna end the recording and play a video, but I would love for you to have the final word here today.
Yes, well, as I said, I hugely thank everyone for taking the time to celebrate and come together and show to, because honestly, I will give you an example. My father in the funeral, he said to me, I didn't know who was Rafael. I'm just finding out now who was Rafael, because they were so simple that, of course, they knew their son succeeding life and got his dream, but they didn't have an idea how beautiful was Rafael's journey and how inspired, how many people he inspired. Because I had teachers and professors of Rafael's in the high school or through his university, at least 20, saying Rafael was my best student. Rafael was someone like never understood how they would. One of his teachers in the university said to me, Rafael would drop everything to help someone in class. He would think twice if he had an exam today. Yes, tomorrow, sorry. And then my parents listening to that and seeing my brother being so, living in such a warm, people crying, showed to them how big their son was. And this celebration as well of Rafael showed to us as family how beautiful was Rafael and how beautiful was my brother. And that's really comfort from my heart and from my parents' heart as well. And so for all of you, I thank you very, very much. Thank you.